I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but it's 2025, so here goes a hot take. COVID wasn't that bad. People were just little bitches about it, to be honest. Restaurants were still open. Beaches were still open. Main Event was still open. Top Golf was still open. The movie theater was still open. You just had to stay 6 feet away from people and wear a mask. That was it. The only thing you couldn't do was go to the club. That was it. That's all you couldn't do was go to the club. Oh, I can't spit some cheesy line to get some girl at the club. Oh, I can't shake my ass at the club. Damn. Y'all, you could still hang out with your friends. You could have house parties. You could go hiking. You could do everything. That was the only thing you couldn't do. But you had celebrities like Cardi B and Offset who were posting like, oh, we're so bored. We're so bored. Like, y'all are like millionaires. First of all, like, I don't want to hear boring at all from y'all. And y'all were, and they were complaining about not going to the club. That was their biggest complaint. Like, they were sitting in the house, like, rolling a blunt or something, and, like, they were like, oh, we can't go do anything. Bitch, you could go do whatever. You can still go to the basketball court. You can still go hang out with friends. Go play ball. Go hike. Go, all those things that I named before. You can still go do it. But they only had the club, and that was the only thing that was, like, making them not happy during that time, which is crazy to me. That is crazy. You can still go visit your family. Like, nothing was stopping you. Public transit was still a thing. Trains, buses. Again, you had to keep your distance and wear a mask, but that was it. That's all you had to do. And restaurants were closing early. That's another thing. Restaurants and stores started closing early. So what? Be the early bird. Get there before everybody else and grab your shit and go. That's it. And I can speak more about this because I was stationed in Okinawa in the military, and we had an even harder level than what y'all were having. Not to take away from your experience during COVID, because I know a lot of people, it was mentally draining. I'm not going to deny that part. Some parts, it was mentally draining, but it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. But in Okinawa, we couldn't travel at all. We couldn't travel so Okinawa is a small island next to Tokyo, and we couldn't travel to mainland. We couldn't travel to where Tokyo is or Osaka. We couldn't travel to none of those places, let alone the state. So we couldn't even go see our family. So yeah, we were stuck out here. And on top of that, we had military restrictions. By the way, that wasn't a Japan restriction. That was strictly the military that we couldn't travel to mainland. So we had that, which was holding us back. We couldn't go to the mall. We could only get takeout. And yeah, so being in the military here in Okinawa, that part kind of sucked for that time. But y'all, I was still going to the beach, still going to round one. That's main event that's like the main event version of the US. So it's just like, round one is main event basically. But yeah, we're still going there. We're still hanging out with friends, going to the beach. Like, it wasn't too bad. Like I said, there was two shitty parts to me, and that was that the restaurants were closing at 8. And number 2 was the fact that we couldn't travel to mainland. Those were the only two things that would stop it. The only two big negatives that was really affecting me personally. Oh, and as far as like being in school goes, like I could have, like if I was in school, and it's hard to speak on this because I can't look at it from my perspective because it didn't happen to me, but I could look at it and imagine it as being a high schooler and being in school and having to FaceTime through. I could see that kind of sucking, but I could see myself also being able to get through it, like it being somewhat enjoyable. As far as learning, I couldn't tell you, to be honest. That part might be a little bit more difficult, but that's different from everybody. So yeah. But y'all, let me know what y'all think. Like, to me, the only thing you had was the club that you couldn't go to. And if you're a club junkie like that, if you're like borderline about to off yourself because you can't go to the club, you got some issues, brother. You got some issues. But let me know what y'all think. Happy New Year's. Oh, real quick, y'all. I forgot to mention one thing. The job part. So when it comes with the job part, it's like, yeah, a lot of people are losing their jobs. And that's definitely terrible. I feel bad for them and everything. But COVID, the pandemic, all of it, it opened our minds to working remotely from home. Now people can work from home. Like, Before that was never a thing before the pandemic, but now it's a thing where you can work from home. And while I'm like, damn, a lot of people lost their jobs, and it's really unfortunate, and that's actually which is a big deal. It's a huge deal. At the same time, it did open that up, so the door for working remotely. So, just keep in mind there was a positive to this. But let me know, guy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, please.